Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that what to expect slash season preview analysis. This time we're gonna be talking about the Atlanta Hawks, who has been one of the hottest discussions this summer after they made big moves to get players like Kristaps Porzingis and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, to name a few, to this roster, and not really losing too many players while still also getting Jalen Johnson hopefully back healthy and ready to go at the start of the season. The Hawks has been anticipated to be a playoff team, something that they kind of is and kind of not under Trae Young's supervision. So Trae Young has helped them be a playing team or better basically his entire career. He also helped them get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So he showed that he can be a leader. He showed that he can give you success, but he needs the talent that fits and blends with him on both ends of the court. And most people feel like this roster is the perfect example of how to do it the right way and how to get the right talent to be able to get the results that you should be getting for Trae Young. And this is a big contract that he can possibly sign if he does well with this group of guys and his coach, Quinn Snyder, who's one of the better coaches in the league and understands how to get the best out of teams offensively and defensively if you give them the right talent to be able to pull it off and do it. Other than that, I'm going to talk about Trae Young first because I think that obviously he's the most important piece to this all working out. He's a walk-in double-double, 20 points and 10 assists. It's something he's going to be able to get. He knows how to play in the pick and roll. He knows how to bend defenses with the floaters, with the jump shots, with getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. And he also can hit threes off the dribble and off screens. And he's one of the players that big men love because he's going to find them, in the dunker spot, in the mid-range spot, and help make their job easy offensively. And then the thing that's crazy is Porzingis is like the perfect center slash big to play with, because he can protect the paint. He's still mobile. He's still quick. He can rebound. He can hit the mid range or the three, or even get to the basket and finish, or even play in the dunker spot. So that's everything you want from a big, especially with Trae Young. And I think that Porzingis is going to fit right in. The question is, can he stay healthy? Will he be available? Will he play 60 plus games? And if he can just play 60 something games, that will just be enough for them to be a playoff team. And then you just hopefully get him healthy for the entire playoff run that you can have. And then you realize, what else do the Hawks really need? Well, they need size and they need shooting. Well, they went out there and got Luke Kennard, who's a guy that can hit a jump shot off the dribble or off screens. And he also can do a little things handling the ball and playmaking too. Not only that, they also went out and got Nickeil, who isn't really known as a shooter, but he's a guy that can really score and create his own shot and opportunities. But he also has been a 36% three-point shooter for his career. And I think that fits right in because in Minnesota, he shot 38, 39, 38, 36, 40. And that's basically what he's been doing the last couple of years, was showing you that he's respectable, and the fact that he can also score without just being a spot-up shooter gives them another threat and another weapon that they can use offensively. And I think he's going to play hard defensively. Obviously, he wants to be in the NBA as long as possible. Obviously, he wants to stay, a reliable player. So I think that this is a great opportunity for him, and I think he gets more minutes with this team compared to a team like Minnesota. And even if he starts or come off the bench, he's going to be a candidate for $6 million a year if he does, because we know they can give you double figures. And if he doesn't, then you just look at it like, well, at least we got deeper. And that does matter when injuries come into play, and that does matter when you're still trying to find a way to find other ways for the offense to go and flow if Trae Young is on the bench or Trae Young doesn't have the ball in his hand. And Nickeil and Kennard can really fix those things just like Jalen Johnson. And people didn't understand how important Jalen Johnson's season was. When Jalen Johnson was healthy, then the Atlanta Hawks was close to being a playoff team basically the whole time. I mean, this is a guy that gave you 19 and 10 while still giving you 5 assists and still shooting 50% from the field. He was just a perfect connector and bridge type of guy for Trae Young. Not only can he take the playmaking duties from him, he can also score in transition. He can get to the basket. He can finish in the dunker spot. He can make the right decision if you give him the ball, even if it's passing early or giving it to a guy all the way on the other side of the court. And he also is a decent defender. And that's something that they need at any position, but he was able to provide that at that small forward / power forward position. And his versatility was just very, very real. And we didn't really expect him to be that great, but he showed that he was an all-star caliber player last year. The problem is he only played 36 games, but you do want him to continue to work on his game. Hopefully he was able to do a little bit more than just rehab, because that is a serious injury, and you do want to see if he can shoot the three ball better, but that counts if you're trying to shoot. But that was a problem. He had a shoulder injury, and those can stop you from developing your jump shot or being great at being a jump shooter. And that's something that might take a couple more years to develop because of the shoulder injury that he sustained. But you just hope that he finally gets to being at least average or a slightly above. And that's probably all you can ask, because you don't really want a guy like Jalen Johnson at the three-point line that much because of all the things that he brings to the table offensively. And I just like the fact that he was just a crazy player in transition too. He got out and he was running, he was finishing and making the right decisions, even if he wasn't in transition. And that's something that you definitely want with a guy like Trae Young. I trust you. You trust me. Let's make the guys around us jobs easier, and let's make the guys around us job better. And I feel like him and Trae Young was perfect together. And it was something that I didn't see coming a couple years ago, but now it's something that I respect in reality to now. Zachary Richeche, he's gonna be a guy that everybody wants to see. Let's just be honest. Like, he did give you double digits, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He also did shoot 45% by the end of the season, which is respectable. He also was able to shoot 35% from 3, which is also respectable. And the fact that he showed you that he can be a guy with size, guy with mobility, he can play multiple positions, defend multiple positions, and that's his potential. That's his upside, with still being a 3-and-D guy at his worst. I think that's something that you should be happy to have. You know, the more things they can do and the more things that they can show, that shows you how your ceiling can be a little bit higher even in the future, depending on who you put around Trae Young and Jalen Johnson and Porzingis. I think that that's their big three, and the rest of the guys just have to fill in the right way. Guys like Keaton Wallace, obviously guys like Onyeka Okongwu, who's going to rebound and be a good backup and finish around the rim, and also hit a jumper from time to time or get to the free throw line, just because he plays hard and he wants it more than most people that's guarding him, or even an Asian Newell or a Eli, or a Vic Krejci. Those guys are just going to fit right in and just make shots and make plays whenever it's asked of them. And Trae Young is going to trust them. Jalen Johnson is going to trust them. They're never been ball hoggy type of guys that everything has to go their way. They're going to be giving you freedom. Move, cut, provide spacings, get out in transition, and we'll find you. That's all we need you to do. And Kobe Johnson, we don't know if he's going to play or he's going to have a real opportunity this year to make some things happen. But we don't really blame them for not letting them play, because they're trying to win games. And these guys don't really contribute to that right now because they're still learning, and you don't want them to have too much pressure on them to where they make mistakes or they feel like they're not going to have a future in the NBA. You want them to feel comfortable, and you want them to be able to go out there and do their best. So guys like Muhammad Gay or Nikola or Dante, or even a guy like Kobe Bumpkin, who actually just got traded, and they got rid of him for cash, but they still got guys like Charles Bassey who can play those positions and just be interpluggable guys. And I think that they did a good job of finding bigs. They did a good job of finding wings, and they did a good job of still having young guys that can still be a little bit or a lot more better. And we just don't know until we see them actually play within the system. And we know that Quinn Snyder is going to be a guy that can, basically make that happen. It's just about getting the right lineups out there and seeing what happens and seeing how it goes, and just making minor improvements and minor adjustments as the season continues to go on, and just trusting your players just a little bit more to make decisions. And I think that, with these guys like Trae Young and Jalen Johnson gaining attention, is going to be, an easy night for these guys a lot of the times. And then you got Dyson Daniels, who probably is the fourth best player, still improving offensively, but we know he's a nightmare defensively. He can get steals, just because he has quick reactions. He had good instincts. He understands when to go for deflections. He knows when to intercept the passes. He knows how to get it right off of you by reaching at the right time. He just was phenomenal defensively for the Atlanta Hawks. Plus, he started showing you that he can shoot the three. He started showing you that he can handle the ball a little bit. He started to show you that, he can be high percentage player because of transition that he creates. And he also showed you that he has a lot more things that he can add to the table. He was a good rebounder. He was a good playmaker. And he was just unbelievable. So, seeing how he progresses and seeing how he puts things together is going to be very, very interesting for the Atlanta Hawks. We don't really know how good he's going to be. We don't really know how good he's going to look with this team. But for them to come in stronger, and for them to come in deeper, and for them to patch up some of the spots that they have on this roster and still getting growth and improvement from a lot of their young players, should mean that they can win 45 plus games. And if they win 45 plus games, that most likely mean that they're going to be a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. I don't think any of us will be surprised. Like I said, they was basically that last year before Jalen Johnson went down. And now if he's healthier and this roster fits like we think it will on both ends of the court, then this team is very dangerous. And that's something that we have to give them credit for. They put a respectable roster around Trae Young, and they should have, a good amount of wins coming their way, especially if Trae's healthy. I mean, like I said, the guy is great at penetration. The guy is great at collapsing the defense. The guy is great at probing defenses, and the guy just, if you give him the ball, he's going to find a way to go here, go here, go there, go here, go there, go here, go there. And he just never really stops moving, never really stops dribbling. And you know that he is a threat to score the basketball. And that was the biggest problem with Trae Young. He takes a lot of good shots, but he just doesn't make the easy ones either. Like, he'll miss a layup, he'll miss a floater, he'll miss a pull-up that he should be making because there's enough space, there's enough room. He just doesn't knock him down that great. A lot of it doesn't have much to do with his height. It just, he's not finishing plays at the level that he should. I mean, when you're shooting 41% from the field, that is an example of maybe it wasn't your teammates helping you create a good shot. Maybe it was just you not taking advantage of the space and taking advantage of the opportunity to be able to put the ball in the basket by making the shots. And when I watched Hawks games, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I liked his shot selection. I just was like, man, Trae Young is just missing open looks throughout the entire game. I don't know if it's balance. I don't know if it's him just rushing a little bit because he is short, he is small, so he feels like he has to go faster just to be able to make shots. Or maybe it's just his touch isn't where it needs to be with his timing. Maybe that's just a combination of that. His hand-eye coordination. I'm dribbling. Now I got to hurry up and try to make a quick move. Now I got to hurry up and try to make a quick shot. And I think if he slows down a little bit and read the defense a little bit and take time to get his balance and his feet right, he can make his shots at a higher percentage. And if he does that, they score better. If he does that, opportunities open up more for his teammates, and the harder it is for the defense to guard them, because they got to pick their poison. And we got to give up this, we got to give up that. But if you're missing those type of shots anyway, you're not really doing anything for the offense of your team. You're actually hurting, the offense of your team. And I think that that's the only thing that I would criticize Trae Young on, is just his shot making. It's not his shot taking ability. He creates and generates, and his teammates help him to generate good looks and good opportunities. But he just hasn't been good at putting it in the basket a lot of the time. When you see 41%, I actually would say is real. Like, this guy has ability to get better himself, and it just comes with taking better shots sometimes and just making the best of the shots that you're given. And that's the whole purpose of growing up and being around a pick your poison type of mentality, where the defense is saying we'll give you this, but you still have to make them pay. And great players do that at a higher efficiency. And I just would like to see Trae Young do it at a higher level. Not because I'm dissing him. I just would like to see him do it because I think he's great. And I like the shots he's taking. He just has to make them consistently and just take more advantage of them when they're there. Other than that, I expect the Hawks to win more games than they did last year. They won 40 and 42 losses, and winning 5 to 7 more games or even 8 more games is a high possibility. They might even probably crack 50, depending on if guys stay healthy and if guys perform the way that we think that they should, and his team clicks the way that it should, and if Quinn Snyder gets these guys ready and prepared each and every night on both ends of the court, they will be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they will be a lock to be a top 8 seed in the East. They still got to battle. They still got to make it happen. They still got to do their thing. But we know that, and that's how the NBA goes. But I respect this team. I respect what they did, and I respect the roster they put together. And I'm going to reward them by saying they will be a playoff team. Will they be a first or a second round exit? Depends on the matchup. Depends on the team. But they definitely should be one of the best teams in the East for sure. And that's what I expect them to do. Make the playoffs and make a decent run and then get outmatched by a better team. They're not a championship team to me. They just a team that can cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. And once you learn them and once you figure them out and slow them down a little bit, it's not going to be easy. That's why you got to do all those things first. You can beat them. But then again, if they made it to the conference finals, I wouldn't be surprised. If they made it to the NBA finals, I would be surprised out of the East. And that's my analysis on this team. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get this analysis when it first comes out. And also, I will also say I make conversation videos just like this about various NBA only topics. I also do breakdowns of real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock draft and draft coverage too. So if you love that type of content, you can't get enough of it. This is the channel for you, and I know for sure you enjoy it, and I know for sure you will like it. Plus, I got over 3,000 plus videos already on my channel that you can watch and enjoy right now, and it's all for free. Not only that, I also will say I make upload videos each and every day. So if you love basketball, you need it, you want it, you can't get enough of it, this is a channel that you would like and you will enjoy. Other than that, thank y'all for appreciating the content for what it is. Thank y'all for making time for me. Thank y'all for caring about what I have to say and coming to me even in person, asking my analysis, asking my opinion about a lot of NBA things. And I created this channel for that reason, because y'all do it so much. That is fun for me and I enjoy it, and I might as well enjoy it with other people too and see what other people like to say and other people like to do or how they feel about the game also. So leave your comments in the comment section. I get to them even if it's a video request. Other than that, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting the channel in the past, the present, hopefully in the future. And on top of that, y'all stay blessed up. Hope y'all have a good day. Hope y'all have a good night. And hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow with more analysis or later today. Gone for now.